A closer look at the lives of fashion billionaires from France, US, Nigeria, or any part of the world. People like Christian Dior, Tony Lawani, Louis Vuitton, Vicky James, H&M, Tubo, Zara, just to mention a few, shows that they all had soft skills, managerial traits, call it hidden potentials that they harnessed to their advantage on their way to the top of the industry. And in today's video, we're gonna be considering the lives of these fashion icons, how they discovered the potentials that helped them become who they are today, how they actually started, such that you, as an upcoming fashion entrepreneur, will be able to discover all that you have that will help you on the way to the top of this industry. Because whether you are aware or not, we are all destined to be great. Yeah, and that's it today. You are welcome to Setro Craft Channel. I remain Joket Oluwani Setro, a serial entrepreneur majoring in fashion. I've been in the fashion space for over 10 years. And today, we're going to be talking about fashion billionaires, exactly how they were made, how they started. Go nowhere, grab a cup of coffee, and let's go right into this discuss. Yeah. Number one is Christian Dior. Christian Dior was born to the wealthy Dior's family on the 21st of January 1905. After the incident of losing its mom and brother in the same year, the family's wealth went down the drain because their father was not able to keep up due to the depression. This then made Dio to return to his craft because from childhood, Dio had passion for art and he was a lover of flowers. His father never wanted him to become this. He thought there was no way he could make it in life with this. But when the road got tough, this was what made him to earn a living because he started selling his art sketches and he started making some money out of this. Let's pause and learn a lesson from this. It is your passion that will feed you in life. When the going gets tough, it's your passion that will keep you going. When there was this challenge, he went back to his passion and he was able to make out a living. Yeah. So Dior continued his pursuit after fashion, but the Second World War came and he was called into the French army. He never had passion for this, so he ran out of the war. After running out of the war, he came back that he wanted to face his real passion after going through a lot. Before this time, he had real terrible situations of sleeping on the floor in a friend's place, getting killed due to poor diet. He even contracted tuberculosis, but he came out of all this. What lesson can you learn from this? No matter how hard life is, once you have a vision of where you're going, you will certainly get there. So, after the Second World War, Dior was so fortunate to have a millionaire by name Marcel Bessac that called him and helped him establish his fashion house. He gave him his factory that was not in use, and he gave him some help, money, to start up his fashion home. That was how the Christian Dior fashion house came into existence in the year 1946. Yes. passion. When you have the passion, the resources will come. So, just 3 months after the establishment of the Christian Dior fashion house, Christian Dior went into hard work and launched his first collection that he called the Corolla because he was a lover of flowers. And you should understand that years before this, in the fashion industry, what was reigning was pragmatism. People were just wearing pragmatic pieces and all the likes. But Dior was never a lover of pragmatism. He was a lover of dreams and glamour. And so he felt that once the world was over right now, people could start wearing ostentatious, lavish, and splendid wares. And this he achieved by this his first collection because the pieces were really lavish and ostentatious pieces, and they spoke luxury. So people came out and it was a success. What lesson can you learn from this? You have to be the trend maker to get to the top of this industry. When Dior came over, what was reigning, he never wanted it. So he brought his own idea, and that became the front line in the fashion industry. So whatever is on your mind, that might be that thing that will be trending in the world of fashion in the next decade to come. Don't keep it to yourself. Once you have the opportunity, blaze the trail. Be the first to do it. Don't be a copycat. Learn to bring out original pieces. These are the things that will take you to the top of the industry. By the time people see what you have in you, they are going to come after you. And you will know that there is no success without opposition. As Dior was making it through this, his first collection, there were nasty comments. And one of such was the comments of Coco Chanel. If you are conversant with the fashion industry, you will know that Coco Chanel was amongst those that were ruling the fashion industry before Dior came. But the fashion industry is ephemeral. Nothing is permanent. It's transient. Fashion changes as new fashion comes in vogue. So Coco Chanel, that led the previous decades, thought she came out with a comment and she said, Dior doesn't dress women, he only upholsters them. Like the pieces that Dior was bringing out were too magnificent, they were too hard, because Dior's pieces, the Corolla collection, were really ostentatious wares, lavish wares, splendid wares. Like each of the piece was made of about 20 yards of fabric, and they were thick, as in for people that wanted to make great statements. Luxury, yes, that was his brand. His brand was a luxury brand. And Coco Chanel was like, how will you be dressing women like this? Taking back to the femininity of the olden days. And Dior just responded and said, I think of my work as ephemeral architecture dedicated to the beauty of the female body. And that answers it all. It's ephemeral architecture. It's just for a time. And that's it. Dior started growing. But do you know that some women in the United States supported Coco Chanel? And when Dior was thinking of expanding his brand, he went down to the United States. People started saying, go back. We don't need you. What are you doing here? But do you know that if you can persevere with your ideas, you're going to rule the world? Dior never allowed what people were saying to move him. He persevered. He went back home from United States after people shouted at him, and yet continued developing his pieces. And before you know it, he started having branches everywhere in the world. So Dior was never moved by all these complaints. He opened a branch in New York. And before you know it, his brand started growing. He produced fragrance, and he also licensed his name to accessory companies so that if you want to wear Dior, you wear the smell, you wear the accessories, you wear the clothes and everything. And before you know it, Dior was on the top of the industry. And what could this teach you? Whatever you're doing today, and it's like people are not receptive of it, and they're saying rubbish about you, make sure you keep at it if you know that's your passion in the industry. People will come back doing what? Buying into that your ideas as the reigning thing. I knew I had this experience while I was in school too. People were always against me for something. I kept at it. And in the end, those that were against me, they started publicizing that thing that I was doing. So that's how the world is. The world will make a way for he or she that knows where he or she is going to. So when you know that this is what I want to do, and you keep at it, no matter how the derogatory demands or how the derogatory remarks, you are going to get to the top of this industry. And that was how Christian Dior continued. But the unfortunate thing happened in the year 1957. Christian Dior died after suffering from heart attack the third time. And Louis Saint Laurent took over from him. He managed the brand. Later on, he left. Then Mark Boran took over the management of the Dior's company, and the company started doing great. They were going to greater heights and all the likes. And as you know it, once a business is doing great, there will be different things. There was a sort of conniving and all sorts in the company. The company wanted to be sold out, and before you know it, it was listed for sales. And the chairman CEO of LVMH, in the person of Bernard Arnault, bought over the Dior's brand for about 11.3 billion US dollars. And so many things came into place. They had to go back to the Dior's principle. When they tried to operate it without following the legacies of Dior, it was not going. This is a take-home point for us here. They just don't buy your brand. They buy you. They buy into your ideas. They buy the fact that they love you. They love your personality. They love everything about you. Then they begin to buy and wear your brand. So you should not just be in the dark and think your brand will grow. Let people know about your story. Let them know of how you started. Let them know of your lifestyle. Tell them things you do. By the time people are able to relate with you, they will buy your brand. And when people buy your brand, you will get to the top of the industry. When they never wanted to follow Dior's brand, the brand was about closing up. They had to get back. They employed experts, and right now, I think the Dior's brand is still doing very great because it recorded a revenue of 28.7 billion euros in the first half of the year 2021. And that's to tell you that whatever you do, the legacy keeps on living even after you. So to get to this fashion industry, I hope you've been able to learn one thing or the other from the life of Christian Dior. Just let me have your opinions in the comment section. Where are you in the industry, and where do you think you can get to? What do you think you can harness? Remember, what helped him was his passion. He had passion for art. Although his father never wanted it, he kept at it until his death. And after his death, till date, many nations of the world, different persons are still wearing the Christian Dior brand. So are you that brand that will be worn for the next decades? Let me hear your story in the comment section. In the next episode, we're going to be talking about Toyin Lawani, the MD CEO of Tiana's Place Empire. She's actually from Africa, Nigeria to be precise. So watch out for that. See you in the next episode.